Shane, I don't.
I sent it to the Commissioner Secretary that I thought everybody got a copy of. Essentially, what happened, this plat, I believe, was recorded in 2019. And it was brought to my attention by one of the landowners that the light poles had not been installed. So in 2024, I got the ball rolling, got the developer to give check to Rocky Mountain Power to install the poles. But in the meantime, the landowners have filled in the sonotube holes and cut off the gray conduit that the electrical goes into. And now the developer's saying, well, I did my job. You know, I can't go back and redo these. I didn't know whether we want to get an electrical contractor to bid to put them back in sonotubes and the conduit and mule tape that's required by Rocky Mountain Power, or if we just forget about them or fill the holes in. It sounds like the developer really says his job has been done and he's not gonna do anything more. So believe that everything. Yeah.
Okay, well, this is the first time seeing of it. I didn't get it before today. Um,
So what would it take to go? I mean, they filled the holes and cut it off.
Yeah, so you'd probably have to put a new sonotube in all three of them. So
And you may have to put new wire too.
well, yeah, the mule tape, I'm sure you would.
Yeah.
so there's three of them.
All
All right.
believe so.
And who filled them in? The developer, or just the
No,
homeowners?
the lot owners. Yeah, there are three light poles. And I guess if we did get a contractor, say it costs $6,000, there's only 16 lots in this division, so that'd be about $375-ish a piece. That each,
So there's 16 and they filled them all in.
no, 16 lots in this subdivision.
Uh-huh.
And if
three
you were to
different-
split, say
Okay.
$6,000 to, have a contractor put these back in, then each of the lots would be charged $375.
But we don't have a bid. We don't know
No,
how much
yeah.
it cost.
I'm guessing at six.
I mean, I don't think the developer's wrong. If he did his part and then the homeowners went in and did whatever they did.
And I don't know, maybe it would, if you decided to do that, maybe it could be split by those three lot owners where they're the ones that
Right.
filled it in.
So what happened? The holes got dug and then nothing happened for,
Yeah, I believe the subdivision was done in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2019.
and then the developer dug the holes and what Rocky Mountain was supposed to put the holes in and they never did. How do we know they'd do it timely this time?
Well, I got a call from Rocky Mountain Power saying, hey, we're ready to install these poles, but there's no holes, there's no conduit.
6 years
there's-
later.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if you just,
Is anybody asking for the light poles? Is this a separate LID?
it is a separate district, yep.
Well, it seems like to me we've just solved our own problem. Or they've solved our problem. I mean, how bad does anybody want lights out there?
I don't think anybody was real concerned of not having light. They were just concerned with, one or two of them, there's still open hole there. They didn't want kids to fall into.
So are they all filled now? Have you
Or
been
can
out
we still
there?
put the lights in the 2 holes and forget about the rest?
Well, it'd still require, I think, conduit being fixed and mule tape, which is what they pull the wires through with. To be put back in.
Can I see that for just a second? I was just looking at the aerial as to where these.
Hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any holes left.
Well, I haven't been out there in a while.
I mean, this is the
Going
corner
off of
here,
the-
so
Paul Snar's email.
one of them should have went right here somewhere. But you can't see any hole in the ground, right?
Yeah, it should be right here.
Looks like they filled it all in, and then one of them should have been over here. Which doesn't look like
Doesn't look like
there's any
anything
hole
there.
in the ground, and then one of them's down there.
Yes, if we don't want poles there, we
So it
should
looks
send
like
a
it's all
subdivision
been
crew out
filled
with it.
in.
And go to dirt, gravel, and fill them in level if there's
If there's any
any,
depression.
any
Yeah, I think
hole left.
I
there.
think if they've already landscaped and filled it all in, we just don't worry about it.
I mean, we're talking about how much they're costing to build and maintain and it seems like people are moving away from even wanting them. And I guess the other thing I think lights, especially in small neighborhoods like this, street lights would generally to prevent crime at night, it's kind of the idea behind them.
I think it
People,
was to prevent crime and also to just be safer for kids too, when people, pedestrians walking along the street and being able to get mail and things like that too, so.
what people now have those motion lights, if anybody comes near their house, they turn on, they want to have those and. I don't know. If we tried to fix this problem now by doing what the developer did. Then we still. Have a Rocky Mountain problem to deal with, we still can't force them then to come in and put them in a timely fashion. And the fact that they say they're ready now,
Yeah, they've apparently got the poles, they went out to install them, but everything was
5,
there.
6 years later. I mean, that's what that's what I'm having a hard time with, is they kind of created this problem.
Mhm.
And then. Who's to say they didn't use those poles in something else, and this would still be not as top of the priority list again.
Yeah.
So I kind of hate to spend any money on that, but
Well, and I guess the money that we have spent in these districts, then. That money we've spent gets spread out between the lot owners and the district, and the county recoups that money. That way,
so these guys are still in the lighting district, is that what you're saying? They're still in
They
the
are.
lighting district and they still have to pay regardless of,
well,
or are you saying if we fill it in?
there- there's nothing to pay for yet because there's no light poles there. They're not being charged to. At least I don't think they're being charged.
So what is it that you want to do?
Well, I just wanted your direction, I guess, as to whether we go out to get an electrical contractor to put these into a shape where Rocky Mountain can come install the poles, or do we just fill them in and forget about it?
So you don't care either way?
I don't care either way.
I mean, I guess the other question is, what is that little community going to say? It seems like to me, if they had a problem with no lights being there, they would have said something long before this.
All the phone calls I've received have been about the holes.
So this community is attached to other subdivisions that do have light districts and do have lights that are essentially right next door. I mean, so it's not. It's not like a separate community because it's part of Rock River. And the rest of it does have like the street lighting.
How common is it that Rocky Mountain waits this long to put lights in?
Not
Poles in?
common they wait this long. We've commonly had to wait from anywhere from 3 to 9 months for them to get out there. Sometimes it's been a year or so. Usually it's been less than a year.
Yeah, just depends on the lead time, I guess, and getting their poles.
So did Rocky Mountain not put them in because they weren't paid for them? Is that the,
No, they've been paid for. They went out to install them, but the sonotube was filled in.
but prior, like back 2019, cause I was just looking at the aerial photo and in 2020, you can see where all those holes are.
Right.
When the houses are being built, so was there some fault on their part, I guess is what I'm saying, as to these not getting installed back?
No,
Then-
because it was brought to my attention, must have been mid 2024 that those weren't there. And so I got with Levi to pay the fee for this check to get the Rocky Mountain Power.
Okay.
And that was done.
So they obviously hadn't been
2024.
paid for by Levi to go put into place.
So the developer didn't pay for the poles like they were supposed to, is that?
Right, until 2024.
So the developer caused the problem? Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah, cause
yeah, he had the sonotubes in, but hadn't paid for the poles.
So we're talking about a subdivision in a neighborhood with 16 people.
The lighting issue.
The light poles were. The holes were dug, and that was back in 2019. The developer didn't pay for the poles until recently, or
24.
till 24. After the homeowners had all filled the holes in, because they were worried somebody had fallen in. And so now the question they're bringing to us is, do we want to pay to redig the holes and get the poles put in now that Rocky Mountain's ready to put them in? Or do we want to just leave it be? And so what you're saying is whatever we put in, whatever we pay will be in the lighting districts?
Yeah, it'll be recouped through that lighting district. Yeah. And like I said, if it costs, say, $6,000, it'd be about $375 a piece. A one-time charge, I guess, to recoup.
Is that where the charge would have gone? If the developer had done it when he was supposed to. I mean, developers
There-
pay for it, but it's
There
trickled
wouldn't,
down and
there wouldn't have been any charge, I guess, because we wouldn't have had to hire an electric
so is it in
contractor.
the paperwork, that the developer was supposed to do this.
The developer did do it, and then, but he didn't pay for the sticks to put in the hole.
Right, so he didn't do it.
So he didn't finish
He was
it.
supposed to
Rocky
put the poles
Mountain,
in
Well,
or pay for the poles.
he was supposed to pay Rocky Mountain Power so Rocky Mountain Power could put the poles in.
but he didn't pay
He
until
didn't pay.
2024, and by then the homeowners had filled in all the holes.
Which is certainly understandable, and
Right.
developer should have to pay to have the holes redone.
But the developer's saying he won't do that,
For
so
that-
then you're,
Email chain, he's pretty much washed his hands of it. He said, I did my job and. I'm
Does
not
he ever
gonna
want to build in this county again?
cause he doesn't own the company. Have you talked to Mark Johnson?
I have not.
I think it would be worth a call to him. He owns Liberty Homes now. Also the same guy who owns Dump It, and just say, hey, this is the problem we're having.
How many holes are you talking about?
Three.
Just say, we'd really like to get these holes in, but can you work with us to help cover some of the costs at least? So that the
Post-hole digger.
homeowners aren't responsible.
They use a big auger thing, go.
Yeah, they've got sonotubes that they put in. The
They're
cardboard
not,
circular
not
tubes.
digging the hole with a backhoe, they're using a.
Usually they use a rotary.
I see what.
Do you have his
Power.
contact information?
so let's take this down the road 2 weeks, give them time to talk to this guy and see what we wanna do then.
Mark's quite a bit more reasonable than Levi, and sometimes he can help bring Levi to the table and get something done, so. I'd just call and talk to him about it. I think he'll be able to get something done with him.
He wants to do that.
You have the, has the change order and the conditional acceptance, are those yours?
Here's the change order. Change order number 1 on Hammond Road. It should have been electronically to you as well.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, I got this.
So the top is a cover sheet, back behind is where this change order needs to be signed by
The
the
mailboxes.
12 mailboxes. At $375, or is it 275?
We're not buying new ones, right? We're just.
We are buying new ones.
They were rotted and couldn't be replaced.
It's by itself.
Yeah.
So you're gonna slip that in the back of some promissory note
No,
guaranteeing me all of my holdings, properties and defendants.
I move to accept change order number 1 on the Ammon Road widening project.
Second.
Aye.
Should have just told them to cover it with their losses. They need to pay this.
well, I'm sure this will help cover some
Yeah,
of their losses.
they close to, I mean, what's their plan with that? Are they close to striping?
Their power company's moving some poles now.
Yeah, well, they have been, and it's caused problems with our contractor for it, but the Rocky Mount Power is supposed to be done, I think, either late last week or this week. And then they could kind of finish, our contractor could finish off and get it striped. They were having problems because the existing paint striping, they were obliterating it, and they would take off the first layer and then more paint would be underneath the chip seal, and then they took that off and then more paint was underneath the chip seal. So I told them to figure out a way to chip seal over the paint striping before they actually tried to restripe it. And they wanted to paint black over the top of it, and I wouldn't let them
That
because
doesn't
that
work,
doesn't
no.
work.
Thank you for not letting them.
And so we'll probably be seeing another change order here in a little bit to put a strip seal down over the top of the paint to cover it. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay,
Next one's a conditional acceptance for Hammond Lincoln Division 1 subdivision improvements.
I move to accept the conditional acceptance of the Ammon Lincoln subdivision, division number 1. That was in our folder, so thanks Ashley for having that in there.
Second. Or- Yeah, second. Aye.
Well, we need to get Ashley to sign there, but you know, too.
Yeah.
That's all I have on the agenda.